Star Blazers. So, yeah, I didn't even realize those were Japanese. So, you know, to make the long story a little shorter here, the club was one of 3 that existed nationally and had chapters in various parts of the country. The chapters were ships, and the more people you had, the bigger type of ship you were. So, okay, we decided at one point there was one of our members who was going to leave town. He was going away forever, and we thought, and we were all kind of sitting around at one of the comic conventions that we were all running video rooms at, and said to ourselves as we were kind of sitting in a circle, well, gee, Doctor Who has conventions, and Star Trek has conventions, and this guy, and those guys, and these guys. But what about the anime conventions? Nobody's ever done one for anime. And we thought, well, you know, we were getting the other people in the group were going, oh, well, it would cost this, and it's too hard here, and blah, blah, blah. Well, a couple of friends of mine heard that conversation, took me aside and went, it's really not that difficult. Boy, did they lie. And they didn't mean to. So we sat on a set of stairs in that hotel for 2 or 3 hours, and I came away from that conversation with a working knowledge of how we actually could put something like that on by following a similar business model and just simply changing the genre, changing what was on the videotape. You know, that didn't seem so difficult. How hard can it be? Never asked that question. But we did. And you have to think 25 years ago, nobody knew really what anime was except for very small groups of people gathering in somebody's living room watching this stuff in a foreign language nobody understood. I was introduced to that at a little con called Yamato-Con, which was a local convention which I think celebrated its 30 years last year, which I was supposed to mention last year, but I forgot, so Bob can smack me later. At that show, they were playing Be Forever Yamato, which was a theatrical Star Blazers. Full orchestra music, all kinds of, you know, just beautiful animation, beautiful depth. Everything that you'd have in an American movie. It just happened to be animated. And for a while, you forgot it was animated because it was so good. It wasn't subtitled. That didn't exist. We had one poor fool in the front who was yelling back at the audience what was going on the screen. And I felt sorry for him and grateful for him at the same time. He became one of our better friends and one of our founders of the convention. The convention became, basically our idea was to have a place where the chapters of this national convention, national fan club, could come and get together, meet each other, you know, share common interests. Never did we see that this would be what it came to be. If somebody had told me that 25 years ago, I think I would have either put myself in a mental institution or would have asked that they go get some help. But we knew that fandom existed. It was just a matter of would they actually move? Because getting people to take action is one of the more difficult things to do. But they did. And so our convention, which we thought would have maybe 100 people or so, ended up with 380 people from all over the country and Canada. 52 hours on a Greyhound bus. So we were very, very excited to start that. And ever since, we decided, yes, we want to do this yearly. Yes, we're going to keep going with it. We are not going to continue. It was called Project A-Kon, because of his popular show at the time, but it also had another couple of ways of looking at it, because it was an anime convention, so A-Kon. There was a Daikon, which was a sci-fi show in Japan, and Daikon's a radish, and they had this big radish ship. And it was the funniest looking thing. Kind of rude, really. And so we spelled ours with a C, where they spelled theirs with a C. We spelled ours with a K, just kind of switching it up a bit. So, and it was also a convention. So it was kind of a three-pronged play on words. And that led us to go with, okay, the next one will be B-Con and then C-Con, and then we're like, no, we won't. Because at that point, D-Con was bug spray. And it also was the existing name of a comic show that happened in Dallas on a yearly basis, and that's the last thing we wanted to do was step on somebody's toes. So we just stayed with A-Kon. And so we were Project A-Kon for a number of years. But we dropped that after some years because we got tired of people calling us Projecticon. Okay, there's a colon there. I guess they didn't know what that meant. And even the media did it. I'm like, you guys are supposed to be educated. No. It took a long time to educate people to the fact that anime conventions were not any stranger than a lot of the other conventions they held. But it was kind of an uphill battle at the time. We were young, we didn't know what we couldn't do. So we tried anything. And we, told the hotels what we wanted to do, and, God smiled and they said yes, because they had every reason in the world to say no. They told us to put clothes on our cosplayers, it was just crazy in the first days. But then they ended up holding weddings in those hotels at the same time we were there. So their country music throbbed through our dealer's room all day. And their air conditioning went out in August, which is when the first one was. Their dance people crashed our dance because we were having more fun than they were. We win! And then they learned not to book us next to things like that again. So, just over time, I think my making a long story short just sort of went out the window there. Sorry. We were a group of about 6 or 7 people at the time. And now I can't find my list. The sad things are that as life goes on, people come in and out of your life. And when we were first doing the A-Cons, we got a lot of help and assistance from a fellow named Larry Langford, who had been running the Dallas Fantasy Fairs for some time. And he had no reason to help us particularly other than we ran his video rooms for him. And he helped us in return, letting us borrow his big screen TVs when none of us could have afforded such a thing, and pointing us out to various vendors that would carry things that might be interesting to us. And he respected our intentions, and he did well by us. And we're sorry to say that he passed away a couple of weeks, actually in December. And we didn't find out about it until fairly recently. The gentleman that started the EDC, which was Earth Defense Command, which was the name of the show in Star Blazers, the military group in Star Blazers, started the club, which became the core staff of A-Kon, because A-Kon was supposed to be the yearly meeting for all the people from the EDC and whoever else wanted to come along to get together and do this. He has also passed away about 3 weeks ago. So the underpinnings of what I had as a mentor, learning how to do conventions, And the person that introduced me to anime fandom, which kind of let me know I wasn't alone in my like of these cartoons, have both left us in the past couple of months. And so that kind of makes you really think about, you know, the past and where we've been, and the amount of work that we've actually done, and the amount of lives that we've actually touched. And there is no more gratifying feeling on the face of the earth than getting letters from people who say, and they're very serious about it, saying that they were at their wits' end, they had had all that they could take in the world, and they were about to just end it. And then they glanced at the calendar and went to and talked to themselves, and their internal dialogue went, wait a minute, con's next week, I can't do this. And I mean, really, that is amazing. If you save one life in anybody's regular lifetime, that's pretty amazing. And that's not the only letter we've ever gotten like that. So A-Kon has a special place. It has a meaning. It has it's not designed to be a purpose, but to have that kind of purpose, but yet it does. It gives us a place to go where we have tolerance, where we have acceptance, where it doesn't matter what you like or what you don't like. If you can keep up with the conversation of the people around you, they'll talk to you. Well, you don't get that a lot just out in the regular world. You talk to somebody in a grocery store and they look at you like you grew a tail. But here, we don't do that. We're like, oh, really? What was that about? And you sit down and start talking particle physics with a 93-year-old lady. And that's true. So, actually, we've been in this town for so long that we've kind of remained under the radar in a lot of ways. Just because we are niche market, that's the nice word of saying weirdos nobody understands. And we just recently got this delivered to us today. This is a letter with a City of Dallas actual crest on it, where it says, City of Dallas Special Recognition. Whereas A-Kon originated in Big D to become the oldest continually running anime-based convention in North America, and whereas A-Kon celebrates its 25th anniversary in 2014, reflecting steady growth in attendance from 400 during its inaugural year to more than 20,000 in 2013, and whereas A-Kon offers engaging programs and entertainment for like-minded anime enthusiasts in the areas of gaming, independent film, genres of Japanese music, steampunk, webcomics, and writing, and collaborates with local cultural venues and organizations to foster interest in Japanese culture. And whereas A-Kon epitomizes the entrepreneurialism, imagination, unique qualities, and can-do spirit that continue to make Dallas a vibrant 21st century city. And now therefore I, Michael S. Rawlings, Mayor of the City of Dallas, and on behalf of the Dallas City Council on Friday, June 6, 2014, do hereby extend special recognition to A-Kon for its continued loyalty to the City of Dallas, and extends best wishes to the organization, convention, and attendees on its 25th anniversary. Tell you that you can't make a difference. It's real hard to see from up here. I don't know what's going on down over there.
Keep it down, you crazy kids. No, not you. You're all right. But please put your trousers back on. Hentai room is not in here.
This is not No Pants Friday.
Right.
Casual Friday. It's
No,
not
no,
that
it's
casual.
no pants. No, you can't have
I'm not
pajama
that.
day. Because nothing gets done on
I have
pajama day.
angry footy pajamas, I'll have you know.
That's different, Mary. You can do what you want.
It won't fit you, dear. And since my cards got completely out of order here because they fell on the floor, I'm just gonna, we do have our thanks and some things we do have to say for some folks. And we'd like to take a few minutes at this time to thank DFW Print, Lighting Guy Productions, and Wayne Hutchison, and thanks to the entire stage crew that make all of these lights and all of this cool stuff go on. Here, your turn.
Ooh. Did you know that we had voice actors here? I am so surprised.
Why?
This is my surprised face. Really? No sarcasm here?
Where do you think you are?
Dallas, that's what the letter said. I mean, come on, Mary. It's not been that long we've been up here. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice actors that we've got here tonight, this weekend, we've got Caitlin Glass here. Carl Herbert. Talasin Jaffe. What the bloody hell is this? Michael, I apologize, but I'm not trying it, but it starts with sin and ends with Tinicolas. J. Michael Tatum. And Amy Howard Wilson. I've run out of cards, Mary. It's back to you.
Unfortunately, I ran a little bit out of order here, thanks to tearing the paper. We actually have a bit of a video to show, and I didn't have my paper for my early staff heads and founders, but I do want to name those people that I can remember off the top of my head. And as far as I know, they're all still with us. That would be myself, Edith DeGollier, Robert Jenks, and yeah, from Anime Fest. Steve Triber, who actually is the person who gave A-Kon its name, and why is that slide backwards? Because I'm reading it backwards. Never mind. I'm not sure I should tell you the story of how A-Kon got its name, because that's... Well... Is Stevie here? Is Stevie here?
He's right up front. Well, he's one
I
back
can't
from
see
around.
past the goal.
Right, so it's the fella that looks dashing right there. You see?
Well, maybe he ought to come up and tell us how he named it. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know Stevie Triber, he is the original MC for the opening ceremonies. Perhaps one of the greatest we've ever had, and a dear personal friend of nobody but me.
Oh, and he used to DJ the dance as well. And the cosplay.
Yeah, I can tell that. I'm on. It's on? Okay. It was 26 years ago, we were sitting in this room. It was smoke-filled. Well, I'm going to say it's now, that's legal in Colorado. It was 26 years ago, and I was 3 at the time. And we were deciding, could we do this, should we do this, and what would we call this? And I had to go to the bathroom, and I got up and I said, as a joke, we should call it Project A-Kon. I went to the bathroom. Come back, and suddenly, the planet Earth now has a Project A-Kon. That's the true story, okay? And as far as whether we should or whether we could, I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably. After 25 years, you realize what 25 years is? Longer than most of you have been alive, and it is over 10% the age of this country. This country has been around less than 250 years. We've been around 25 years. You were talking about weddings at A-Kon. I remember that. Dancing with the bride. After a few drinks, dancing with the groom. And I'm wondering if those marriages have survived as long as A-Kon has. That's the story. Thanks.
So A-Kon was a large degree of potty humor. Other founders, or very early staff heads actually. Dang, I wish I had my list, because I had it all written out so well. We had, let's see, Lee Madison, who had drawn our very first geisha robot character, and has been actually doing both the staff shirts and the badges for all of the 25 years, whether he liked it or not. I think he liked it, or he would have said no a long time ago. Is Lee here? Yep. Nope. Yes, no. Stand up and wave or do something, dude. I can't see you. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the audience? They didn't hear a word you said.
Thank you for the opportunity to do the work. Thank you.
Man who loves his job. If you love your job, you're never working a day in your life. Guy Brownlee, who at last I heard was in the hospital. I'm not sure if he's gotten out, but let's keep him in our thoughts and prayers and good energies towards him as well. Let's see, who else was there that day? I know I'm going to forget somebody and somebody's going to be royally mad, but I'm sorry.
Well, they should have been here.
They may be.
Well, then they should speak up. Is there anyone that she's not listed?
If you were one of the literally 7 or 8 people that were in my apartment when we all decided we're doing A-Kon, raise a hand, stand up, be recognized. I'm not seeing anybody else. But our founders, like I said, this all started with a group of 7 people, 7 or 8 people. Okay, back on track before our stage manager has a coronary.
Oh no, it's way past due. Last I saw, they were hooking up to one of the machines. Now he's knackered.
We do have a couple of special announcements that we want to make. We've had a street team that goes out and takes flyers, posters, things like that around to various areas wherever they are. And we have a little bit of a contest for a person. The contest was, where's the most creative place that you can find to put out flyers, or not, get your mind out of the gutter. But where's the most interesting or unusual place you could do, or find, to put out? Well, I got an email back, and I think somebody would have to try pretty hard to top this one. he got Bette Midler to put them out at the Bette Midler live concert in Vegas. And his name is Ian Miller. And I just want to give him special recognition and way to go for creativity and sheer guts. And his prize will come in the mail later. Well, let's see here. We do have a couple of things we do want to make a mention of. Not just introducing guests and stuff, because a lot of the people are here from the old days, from the new days. We've tried to make it a mix. This year, the church, which is a golf club that is nearby.
24 Swiss and good Latimer last I checked. But I stay far away from there now.
He's not really British!
In conjunction with Yaya Han and us and some of the other cosplayers, the church is actually hosting an after party on Sunday after the convention closes, complete with a costume contest out there as well. So if you would like to go out there at whatever address this guy just said, because I can't remember it,
24
look it up.
Swiss and good Latimer. No. I said it once, you should have pen and paper ready.
Google
I'm
it.
not Scots, don't lie to me.
It's at Swiss and Good Latimer.
That'll be later.
Oh my gosh, don't give him opportunities like that.
Right, that's it.
We learned a long time ago. There's
We've got
some
stuff
people
to
that
do. Stuff to do. Things.
Yes,
There's
there will
bands
be
coming.
things to do over there.
Gonna do
And
music and
so if you don't want the party to end on Sunday night, go over there. They're offering half-price discount to people with convention badges, or what they call credentials, which pretty much means badges, and special drink offers and things like that. They're having special DJs, they're going to have J-pop playing, and Yaya will be out there. And so we thank them very much for their support. Also, sooner or later, when it gets here, we will be having a very large, what's called a step and repeat banner. It's kind of like a red carpet banner. We have various sponsors, logos that are on this big long banner. It's a photo opportunity banner. And we're going to be using it partially for the Guinness Book of World Records attempt that we're going to do, and it's not an attempt. It was an attempt the last time, and we made it. They just didn't accept it because we didn't adjudicate it to whether they didn't like the way we did it.
It's a problem with people with Guinness in their name. They're too busy drinking. So
So we
pint?
found more rules that we could stick in and go, pay attention. I mean, come on. It's the current holding record is 400 people. Really? Our security staff could beat that.
Maybe we should do that. Let the security staff beat it and then go down. Here's the attendees.
Yeah. Here's the staff. Here's the other people. So look in your schedule. There will be times if you want. It's for video game, people dressed in a video game costume. Let's see, charities. We have two. The Kids Need to Read, which is one that is a favorite of a particular guest that we are trying to get to know a little bit better for future years. And another one it's called Sean's Outpost, and Dean and myself have opened a Dallas chapter of it. Talk to me after.